Hey everybody, Mattisfaction here. Today we're checking out this Civivi. It's the Civivi Odd 22, which this is 4, so but still 22. And today's beverage, Monster Energy, 0 sugar. Delicious. Got that guy. Today's carry, ooh, Gungnir. And Soap on a Rope. This is the Van Gogh Starry Night edition. This thing is sweet. Check them out. Anyway, let's get into the meat and taters of this. You want answers and you want them now. I kind of already fiddled with it. I'll try to tie in. Right here will be like my unboxing I did on a live. Thanks to my buddy. And yeah, so if you see it, then it's there. All right, now, here it is. The Civivi Odd. There it is open. I know a lot of people just are like, open it, open it. And here you go. So right off the bat, you got thumb studs, flipper. And yeah. You can't really fuller flick because there's no fuller. But I will say the action is quite nice. You can thumb stud flick it. Can you reverse flick it? Boom, yeah. I used the meat of my finger, as it were. Let's get into some specs. I'm on the Civivi website here because I want to give you, you know, the what they say. The overall length is 7.13 inches, width 1.41, but the blade length is 2.97, so basically a 3-inch blade. The handle is not listed. That's fine. Closed length 4.17. It's kind of small. The size comparison. Here's the Elementum. It's Elementum sized. When I saw the picture of it and I wanted to check it out, I thought it was, you know, a bigger knife. And there's nothing wrong with it. That was just my expectations. I expected bigger. And, you know, that's my fault. I didn't look at the specs because I usually like going into these blind. This is from the Apex Pass-Around group. The whole weight of this thing is 3.46 ounces. It's got Damascus. I'm not really sure what kind Civivi uses as their steel. I got some monster condensation up on here. It says the blade hardness is 58 to 60. Blade grind is a flat. It's black hand rubbed. It's a clip point. The handle material is Cabotia, which I think is very nice. And the liners are black, the hardware is black, the pocket clip is black, the pivot's black, the thumb stud's black. I like this black and brown color scheme. It's nice, it's unique. Those are the specs. I can't cut with this. This is an Apex knife. But what I can do is give you some size comparisons like I did and, you know, tell you how it feels. I already don't like the pocket clip. I'm not a fan of, you know, Civivi's boring pocket clips. But they make a titanium one that looks kind of like, you know, like this, just a little bit longer. And, you know, it would look much better there. A black one, I would say. And I would replace it. But I mean, in my hands, I feel it. Your hands, you might not. You can see it digs in there. The upswept spoon part, it kind of gets in right there. It is what it is. They do it to keep the price down. But what they should do is, you know, offer a milled titanium clip to go with this for a couple extra bucks. Civivi's losing out on a couple of dollars. Because people are going to take this, go out, buy their own aftermarket one, and that could be money in Civivi's pocket, but I ain't going to run their business for them. I'm just letting you take a look real quick. I mean, it does look very nice. I like this dark brown. and all the black. I like the Damascus. I like Damascus steel. I think it's cool. It's unique. I know people are like, oh, Damascus. Especially when you've dealt with the cheap stuff. But I like something, adding a little flavor to it. Elementum here. This is just kind of boring. But it does its job. This is just a user knife here. And this one's a little bit more classy. This would fit in a nice little suit pocket. The clip point, some people might find a little aggressive, as opposed to, like, you know, a drop point. But that's okay. That's for you to decide how you want. You can choke up on the front like this. Put your middle of your finger there. That way you're not on the blade. Give yourself a little bit of a space there. And that lets you choke up on it if you want to do some cutting or some feather sticking. You can hold it like this, do some draw cuts. This might even do some work in the kitchen department there. The blade's a little small to be slicing tomatoes. You definitely want a longer one. For example, here's the Artisan Orion. That's got a nice long blade. That would be good for some tomato chopping. But I do like the looks of it. You got barrel spacers back there and a little one. That is for your lanyard, if you would like. Just loop it around, tie it, give yourself a little lanyard. Some people like them, some people don't. Let's see, the scales or the liners are weight relieved. You can see hopefully, you can see the holes drilled in there. They're pretty big too. There's actually not a lot of liner left. They took a lot out, keeping that weight down. The wood scales are very thin, which keeps the thickness down of the whole knife. I think that's a nice touch. And the blade steel's a little bit thick. Let's see, does the website say how thick the blade is? Blade thickness is 3 millimeters. Which I think is comparable to, no, it's a little bit thicker. The Elementum's just a little bit thinner. But that could give you an idea of its sliciness. And it does have a nice flat grind. You can feel it. I like a good flat grind. I also like a good hollow grind. They're both slicey. But a flat grind gives you a little bit more strength behind the edge. A hollow comes down to a very fine point. So it's easier to chip. Think like razor blades. Straight razor blades. But hollows are usually a little bit more slicey. But this is gonna slice just fine. You know what? Let's do some paper. Everyone likes a paper test. Whoops. There you go. I haven't stropped it because I'm not sure the rules. And I just ripped that, but there you go. There you go. See, I mean, it works very nice. Very nice. Ran out of blade there. It's a good slicer. Here we go, clean up my mess. I don't like a mess. So, the pros, I like the wood. The wood has a nice texture to it, smooth, but it feels good. My light just turned off. Here we go. I like the black on brown. I think it's a nice contrast and it looks classy, looks fancy. I don't like the logo on the blade. If you're going to do a Damascus, don't put logos on the blades. It makes it look cheap. Put that in here somewhere on the scale, or I don't know, if you're going to do it, put it somewhere inconspicuous. I don't like the pocket clip, but you know, get yourself a milled one. It'll be much better. As for the action, it's nice. I bet when it's really broken in, it's gonna just drop. It's on bearings. Woo! Head of hair. Yeah, it's on some bearings, so you can put some lube in there, and that'll definitely help. Probably throw some skiffs in there if you would like. It's got some jimping on top, which I always appreciate, especially when you get this kind of nice hold on it. And I like the minimalist approach with the screws. You know, some knives are just riddled with them. This one's just got 3. And then the pocket clip, of course. And it looks like the top screw is also the barrel spacer screw. So you're going to have to take that into consideration. The pocket clip, the screws are flush with the clip. But I like it when the clip itself is flush with the knife. I don't like this little lip. But it probably does go into the pocket knives. Let's pretend this hank is a pocket. Let's see. Yeah. So you're not really going to have an issue. That's just me nitpicking. Whoops, failed it. So you're going to have to give it just a little bit of oomph. One thing I don't like about flippers personally is this part, where it hits the nail. I like it when it just goes all the way down. Some knives do that, some don't. Let's see. Is the Elementum one of them? Oh, I had it open. Here we go. Oh, it clears the thumbnail just barely, just barely. But, you know, if you're looking for a cool knife, I think the Civivi Odd 22 seems pretty neat. One thing I didn't do is see how much it goes for. So let me take a gander. Let's take a peek. If we were to go to Blade HQ, it's $95. $95. That might be a consideration. Let's check the old Zahn. Also $95. Yeah, so this is a $100 knife. With that being said, for $100, I think there's other things you could buy instead. But if you like the looks of it, go for it. You could buy 2 Elementums, not this one. This is S35, but 2 regular ones. You could put a good chunk of that into this. Get yourself an Orion, which is a cool knife. Buy yourself a Real Steel Phasma, which this is an awesome knife. I think that looks awesome. That's like a race car. Let's see, what else could you get for $100? $100 dues. Well, most of my stuff's put away. And the stuff I have on the table is... yeah, so anyway, that could be a negative right there. $100. Here we go. We got some size comparisons going on here. But let me know what you think. Is this your style? Are you enjoying this? I like the looks, but now that I know it's $100, I mean, why isn't it worth $100? Just because I think you can get a bigger knife, a different kind of knife for $100. But the Damascus and the wood scales, those are nice. You know, maybe it could be worth $100. If there was a website where you could sizzle it. It does look classy. I like the looks. I don't know. That's the thing. With knife prices, it's you. It's up to you. What are you comfortable with? Some people aren't, comfortable spending $30. But other people are like, I just bought a $800 knife again. Woohoo! So it comes down to you, your preferences, what you like. And no one's going to tell you what your budget is, what you like, what you don't like, what you need to spend. You do what you do and what feels right to you, and have fun. Buy what makes you happy, just for fun. The gun here. But do what makes you happy, and you'll be all right. This is a cool knife. I like it. Only a few things I didn't. But, I like it. Let me know what you think. And until next time, I messed it up. I'll get you next time. There we go. That's how it's supposed to be. Let's redo. I'll catch you next time. Do, 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 do.